Yo, what's good? It's your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. In today's video, I just want to go over a few observations and key takeaways from the first day of Saints Minicamp 2024. It is the precursor to what will take place a few weeks from now when they go into training camp in the month of July. And based on what I'm seeing, what I've observed so far, things are going smoothly. Still people missing from the scene, but we'll go over that in a little bit. But I just want to talk about the players that were there today. Yeah, Marshall Lattimore, he showed up. Alvin Kamara, Nathan Shepard, Nathan Latu, all participated in minicamp and practice after being absent throughout OTAs. We didn't see Jawan Johnson. Brian Brazil wasn't available. Ryan Ramczyk is still recovering from the injury. There's no new updates on if Ryan Ramczyk will play at all this season. I think he's not going to play again. Um, Play forever. I don't think he's going to play again. He is at home recovering, trying to rehab that injury. Chase Young wasn't available. Jack Heflin wasn't available. Stanley Morgan Jr. didn't participate. Tight end Tommy Hudson didn't play. Faion Hicks, to no Capaccio, he's out with torn ACL. Defy Sewell, Matthew Jacobson, he left early with a trainer. But that was that's the list of players that were inactive today for minicamp session. Dennis Allen also said that like I said, Ramchick, there's no new updates on if he's gonna come back or not. But don't count on it. Don't count on him being available at all this season. Uh, Cam Jordan increased his production, his output on Tuesday's mini camp session. Per, um, Participated in 4-team drills and on a limited basis. You know, Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's still working his way back into the fold, trying to get up to speed on everything that's going on. He worked off to the side with trainers, and that's all I need to put out for Kool-Aid McKinstry. They also had a couple tryouts today, according to the reports. You had Jordan Smith, Roderick Teamer, Cameron Wire, Cameron Patterson, Russell Gage. Um, that's the list that will be tried out for the team. Now, as many of you already know, familiar with Russell Gage from his time with the Atlanta Falcons. Um, at the time when he was putting up those numbers, 700, those back-to-back 700-yard seasons with the Atlanta Falcons, and he was going into free agency. He signed with the New England, well, not New England Patriots, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a lot of people had high expectations for Russell Gage and what his ceiling was going to look like with Tom Brady in that offense. And he never, his production never resembled what he did with the Falcons, but only caught 51 passes for 426 yards. But they longer with the team missed last year with a torn patella tendon. And he's a former LSU Tiger, and I think that's a very intriguing name to have into the mix right now. I think he could help out this team if he is 100% healthy. Um, Everything looks to be good. If he can come in, make the team, have an impact at training camp, I don't think it would hurt to have this guy on the team. You know, it gives I think the Saints a reliable slot guy if he is healthy, if he is back up to speed, you know. So there's that with that situation, but it wouldn't hurt to sign Russell Gage. And this is like the biggest news out of training camp, out of minicamp right now. Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lattimore came back, uh, looked good, uh, looked elusive, looked like looked performing like his old self. Um, nothing really. I'm not really surprised by that, man. Lattimore, nah. Alvin Kamara always comes into mini camps and training camps in tip top fashion and shape, um, up to speed, ready to go. Not really surprised by this. Marshall Lattimore is back with the team, and based on what he said today, he never really intended to be traded from the team or anything like that. He stayed. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he basically said that him and Da had a personal issue that they had to resolve, and I'm assuming that everything is good now. You know, it is after June 1st. He can be traded if they decide to do that. But let's think about this though. They did they did rework his contract to where he could be traded this offseason. That's facts. You know, and hopefully this is the end of it for right now. We don't hear anything else about it for right now. But they did structure that contract like that for a reason. Maybe it came from Lattimore's side, his camp, or it came from the Saints. But that is facts. You know, so there had to be some tensions there to where they took it to that level of we may have to structure this contract to where we can get up out of it with that and also lower our dead cap hit if we decide to trade you. But Lattimore looked good in the sessions that he performed in the day. So everything is kumbaya for right now, based on what I'm saying. And hopefully it can stay like that for the season because you're gonna need this guy. You're gonna need Marshall Lattimore at his best, healthy. And we know that when he is on his game and he is not injured, he is a top 10 corner in the league. Maybe even the top seven. You know, he is that good. So I'm assuming that that solves everything right for right now. We'll know how things are gonna shape out at the end of the season, but from waste based on what I'm seeing, on what I'm observing, Lattimore will be on his team for the majority of the 2024 season, for the entire 2024 campaign, unless he get hurt. Hopefully that does not happen. All right. So we're gonna take it down to the running back situation. So right now, Alvin Kamara is at the top of the depth chart, but and followed by Jamal Williams. Now, the intriguing part about this is that Jordan Mims is third on the depth chart, while Kendra Miller has not been prominent, raising questions about his current standing and future potential. Now, despite high hopes for Kendra Miller for a breakout year, he has yet to make a significant impact so far. That's what I've heard. That's what I've gathered so far. Now, man, that's interesting because Kendra Miller was a third round pick. He showed even in the few games that we saw him in, we got a nice sample size of what he can become. We really did. And to say that Jordan Mims is on the third on the depth chart while Miller is fourth is intriguing. It's interesting. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he's on a bubble or anything like that, but it's something to pay attention to. Now, for what all we know, once training camp start, Kendrick Miller could get going, and this guy can live up to his potential. But for right now, Jordan Mims is third on the depth chart behind Jamal Williams and Alvin Kamara, not Kendrick Miller. So interesting situation right there. Next, we talk about Pete Warner. Pete Warner stood out today and played really well during the sessions um, today in day one. He had a good coverage play on where on a defensive end, Carl Granson, where he for Carl Granson sacked Derek Carr. He blew up a run on the next play and then stopped a run by Jamal Williams. So looking good so far, man. And maybe this is what was needed to keep Pete Warner inspired, to keep Pete Warner motivated on the task at hand. Maybe you have to bring in another guy, another linebacker that is just as good as you. That he probably can challenge you for your spot, you know. And I like what I see so far. But the way I think it should happen is that hopefully we can get all three linebackers on the field because Willie Gay has the potential to be a Demario Davis replacement. He could be the guy that takes over Demario Davis, and you have your Pete Warners there. That's your future right there, you know. But this is probably what was needed to keep Pete Warner motivated, to keep him hungry, you know. But I think the plan is for them to have all three linebackers on the field at once, some type of capacity, because I would hate to see Willie Gay not make this 53-man roster and he goes somewhere else and starts and become a contributor. That would be a huge mistake. So they got to figure out a way to have all three of these guys on the roster, man. Because I think Gay can solve a lot of issues. Gay can be that guy that can drop back in coverage. That can go sideline to sideline, and blow up big plays, stop the run. So they got to find a way to get all three of these guys on the field. You know, special teams didn't have a good day today. Lou Hadley, who previously showed promise with his impressive punts and his inconsistent, but he had an inconsistent performance. His punts varied today, hang time, some falling short of standards. He said earlier in the summer. Blake Grupe, he started off good. He went 5 of 5 field goal attempts, despite the wind conditions. But then struggled, missing 2 long attempts during the red zone, and ending the day 1 of 3. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did bring somebody in. If somebody comes in and challenge both Headley and Group A for their jobs. You know, Dennis Allen was very patient with Group A last year, despite people calling for him to be benched, calling for him to be replaced. Dennis Allen stuck with him. He had his days where he was on point, and there were his days where he was just wasn't there. He just missed chip shots, quality kicks, easy shots. You know, prime example was the Green Bay game on the line. James got you in field goal position. He missed it. Lou Headley, pretty much the same. Some games he's great. He could pin him deep. Some games, it just looks terrible. But I wouldn't be surprised if, both of these guys are replaced. And you may not see it like this, but Lou, Group A could cost DA his job by missing with some of these missed field goals. You know, that's how important this position is. So that's another situation to keep to pay close attention to. Special teams. Chris Olave had a huge day. Um, even though he was in limited coverage, under limited coverage due to that. I think it's like he wore a non-contact jersey because of the shoulder injury. But he was productive today. Had several catches, notable catches, including a touchdown pass from Derek Carr. So huge from him. So I'm expecting some big things out of him this season. Derek Carr and Jake Hanna had good days today. Carr was 7 on 7 drills. Carr completed um, only one of 6 attempts. Doing team drills, he finished 6 for 9, making several impressive throws. And he struggled to lead the team to a scoring position in a simulated game scenario. Mm. But Jay Hannon was sharp, completed all of his attempts during 7 on 7s and making crucial plays during team drills. His connection with Rashid Shaheed was a standout moment for a touchdown. Um, in regards to this situation, quarterbacks, I'm not surprised what we're hearing out of Jake Hannon. He is supposed to be levels above a rookie like Spencer Rattler, believe it or not. You know, Spencer Rattler is a rookie. Jake Hannon has already been through a season. This is his second year. So the learning curve may not be as steep for him as it is going to be for Spencer Rattler. So I'm not really surprised by all the good reports we hearing about Jake Haener. And who knows what this guy's potential is gonna be once the season once we get on the training camp. Because last year he had a really good camp. But when he got on the field, it didn't look good. Maybe that changes this year because this is gonna determine um who's gonna be the backup quarterback behind Derek Carr. Is either gonna be Carr or Jake Haener. Not Carr. It's gonna be Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler. Right now, I think it's gonna be Spencer Rattler, man. I think it's gonna be Jake Haener. I think it's gonna be Jake Haener, man. I think Rattler got some change, has some that's a long way to go. Right now, I think Haener's gonna come into training camp. He's gonna knock it out of the park. You know, I think he's gonna do really well. Defensive line, um, let's see. Peyton Turner, Isaiah Foskey rotated effectively. Christian Boyd and Kendall Vickers was the next man up in their interior. Grandison, Foskey, Shepard all contributed positively during the practice, highlighting the depth and competitiveness of the defensive line. So there's that, man. Cam Jones saw some action today. Carl Grandison was on hand. Nathan Shepard was there. Kalen Saunders was there. Um, that's pretty much it, man. I try not to get too beside myself by some of the good reports that I'm hearing out of minicamp because it's only minicamp, man. It's June. It's still, early to me. I still think it's still early in the season. They have to really come up with an assumption on how things are going to play out. As for me, I prefer, training camp sessions. Once that kick off and those drills, those scrimmages they have with other teams, I believe those give a fair assessment of how the team how the team actually looks compared to the minicamp scenarios because they're not going as hard as it would go during the training camp drills or the scrimmages they have against other teams, where they go out to another facility and practice. But right now, man, so far look like the players are really digging. They're really liking the new system on offense. Aaron Kamara has some good things to say about it. Carr has said some good things about the new system. How it's fresh, it's brand new, interesting concepts. So we're gonna see how everything's gonna play out. You know, Clint Kubiak doesn't say a whole lot of words. I have an issue with that. But we just gotta wait and see. I keep saying that, man, but it's true. People anxious. They want to see what it's gonna look like. It's coming. It's coming real soon, man. The Saints' first preseason game is going to be a lot of eyeballs going to be on that game, even though it's a preseason matchup, because we get to see for the first time an offense that does not have Sean Payton's or Drew Brees' imprint on it at all. It's not going to be a Payton influence offense. So it's going to be something that's going to be entirely new, so I'm excited. It's good to know. You know what I'm saying? It's good to know that Lattimore is going to be on this roster this season. I don't know about going forward, but apparently, whatever, I don't know what led people to go. Well, I know what it was. I mean, when they structured that contract the way they did, people that set off an alarm. People felt as though they'll set things up for him to be traded, you know, but it's not, so we'll see how it's going to play out, man. But um, so far, everything looks good for this team. Now training camp could be a different animal because the intensity, goes up just a bit, a notch, because you have guys, fighting for roles, trying to make the team. You know what I'm saying? Players getting cut, some players getting brought back. But probably, hopefully, man, God forbid, it's not the injuries are not as drastic, are not. We don't have injuries to where it hampers us during the season. So hopefully that's not the case. So, but there's that. All right, so that's all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What were your takeaways from Saints minicamp day one? Also, check out sportsview360.com/Saints for latest content. The All Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.